Hey guys, Nolar here, and I'm back with more Counterside. But today we're going to be taking a look at things I really like about the game, and a couple things I'm not too fond of, but they could improve and make it my, top tier gotcha for my list. But I'm not alone. I'm joined by Ignant. Ignant, say hello to the beautiful people.
Yo, what's up, Fudgers? How's it going?
So, yeah, as you guys can see, we're going to be talking about, things that I definitely like. And so we're going to start it off with number one. The soundtrack. I love the music in this game. I don't know about you, but the music is pretty awesome. And I don't say that a lot about a lot of gachas, right? So, what are your thoughts on the music here, Ignant?
Oh, I love the soundtrack. I've been trying to rip the songs that and put them in videos and stuff because they sound so good, dude. I literally always play with the sound on because the OST is just fantastic. It feels like an actual anime OST is in this game. It's so good.
Yeah, I definitely like the music. It's a little edgy, hard rock. I mean, that's my forte, right? So automatically, I am definitely a fan. And so for the most part, that's great. And dude, I leave the game on in the background because it's got a auto farm. But I'll leave the music on. It's pretty good, so I'll just leave it there. So. But that's the one thing I noticed first and foremost out of the game so far is just the soundtrack. The OST is just fantastic, right? All right. Oh, go ahead.
Literally listening to it in the background as it auto-fars as you speak.
Exactly. So, all right. So that was the number one thing I noticed because usually I turn off the sound in games, right? Dokkan, all the other games I play, I just turn off and I'll check out the OST later. But here it's just no, I'm leaving it. That's what it is. All right. So we'll move on to the second point that I wanted to talk about, and it's just a personal thing. I don't like chibi models, and the gameplay here, there are no chibi models, right? That's the beautiful part about it. Yeah. So, I don't know, what are your thoughts on chibi models and on that style, and yeah.
I feel like one or two games with it is okay, but it just felt like a point where it's every game just had it for no reason. And that's one of the things I like about this is because it reminds you a lot of Arc Knights, except you don't have the stupid chibi model.
Oh, yeah. The best way I describe this is just a side-scrolling Arc Knights, right? That's the best way to describe this game. And I mean, I really liked Arc Knights. It was fun, as a tower defense game. That was super fun. Because it was so fun, it was easy for me to overlook the chibi models. But you're right. I think 80% of the games out there, when they have combat, they primarily use the chibi models. I don't understand it because I know in Japan they call it deformed or super deformed. I don't know why they like that stuff, but they do. So I mean, I don't know. It's just not my thing. I could see I see it has an appeal to people, and that's pretty cool. But overall, it's just not my thing. And the fact that you got full-grown models, just regular models going in, and the artwork is fantastic, right? It looks good.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's artwork is so good.
Yeah, it's really good. Everyone knows she's if you're going for the waifu, that she's one of them, right? But yeah. Overall, go ahead.
I think part of the chibi thing is probably because it might be easier for them to animate in the fights and stuff. Yeah. Other than that, I don't see why they really do it.
Yeah, I again, not a fan. I think it's more in Japan because I think a lot of JP gachas are have the chibi models, or they eventually added. Look at Dokkan with the Peton mode, right? Yeah. The Peton battle mode. So again, the Peton battle mode, not a big deal, but it's not the main gameplay, so that's fine. But here, it's just I actually like looking at the gameplay, and I am impressed by how good the models look and the artwork and all that stuff. Even the live 2D, right? The live 2D is very similar to all the other live 2D games like Girls Frontline and Zero Lane, but it just looks better to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, maybe it's a preference, but that's the one thing that I thoroughly enjoy. Yep.
I feel like they just have more things being animated than most games do when it comes to live 2D, and it doesn't feel as clunky. A lot of them look like the cheap $2 wallpapers you find in the Google Play Store usually. Yeah. And this one doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, it feels like it's got a better quality to it. It's not just going from point A to point B, swaying back and forth. It's got a little more animation and flair to it. So yeah, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoy it. I'm having fun with it. So the no chibi models, the artwork, that's where I put my stamp of approval there. All right, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, there's something for everyone here. Of course, first and foremost, Elizabeth, the waifu, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are mechs. So if you're into the mech stuff, that's, or there's some husbandos in here. Whatever way you swing, I don't care. If you like it, you like it. And there are soldiers. There's just a lot of, like, the world itself has so much going for it. It's not a waifu only style game, all that kind of stuff. So overall, I feel like, there's something for you to enjoy here, and that's at least appealing to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I really do like that he tried to just make it more than just a waifu simulator only, and they added some more variety to it. Like, dude, they even have tanks. You're into tanks, bro. That's what gets your rocks off. They got those too in here,
Yeah.
I really like that as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because, like I said, there are some great waifus. There's some good mechs. There's good as bundles. Whatever you're into, there's something for you to gravitate towards. So it's really laying the foundation for other people, because there are a lot of other people that play a bunch of different gachas. Be like, oh, there's no husbandos. It's a girl. She wants guys in there. Okay, cool. Or there's some other guy friends who want some like variety of stuff, right? And then there's nothing there. It's just all waifus. They're just like, screw it. Even though they love the gameplay, they love the artwork, they're just like, it's not for me. And then they walk away. Here, I don't think that, like, this isn't a point for you to say, no, I don't want to play the game, because there's something for you here. So that was the point number 3 I wanted to make. Point number 4, and you'll see here, is the repeat operation and the like boost system is fantastic. I know that's like the thing you love the most, so why don't you go off on it first, Ignant?
Bro, Dokkan, take some notes, my guy. Because a boost feature, you can go up to 20 times, like a boost on there, so you can do like 20 runs in one. It uses up a couple of the books which you use for skills and stuff, but I mean, it's a small sacrifice to make, because to be able to do 20 runs in one saves so much time. It makes leveling up so much easier, leveling up your units, getting XP, getting gold, all that stuff. And then the autoplay is really good. The AI seems to actually know what it's doing, which is very, very, very nice to have. So like, if I'm not using the boost feature, I have the auto playing at pretty much all times. I love it. Absolutely adore it. I wish more gachas took note of this. Because before this, I played Active Time in it, and they had the boost feature as well, but theirs was up to 5. I was like, yo, this is crazy. But now we come to this one, you do it up to 20 times. Like, okay, that's even crazier.
Yeah, I've used the boost system a few times, and like you said, it's fantastic. Granted, it uses a currency you need to upgrade some units, but I feel like over time, the more you play, you'll get enough of it, so it won't matter. Early on, it might like hinder you a little bit, maybe, but like a week or two down the line, I think we'll be okay, right? You can just use that stuff all the time, and that's great. Like, the one thing is, like, this is a Korean gacha base. Our Korean gachas are known to be like really grindy. Obviously, 7 Deadly Sins, Grand Cross. You might as well leave your phone on all the time. KOF. So like, they're always grindy, and so they always want you to auto repeat, let it do its own thing, which is fine. But if you could just boost it and then bounce out for a while, even better, right? And they have both systems here, right? So I think this is phenomenal for the grinding aspect. I mean, gachas are. That's the history of gachas, right? It's all about grind. And to automate that and make that faster and easier for you is fantastic. So I can't sing enough praises about the boost system and the auto system, auto repeat, and even the AI. It's fantastic. So that definitely gets my stamp of approval for, definitely something that people can enjoy if you're used to gacha games overall. So that's point number 4. All right, the last point that I definitely really love about this game, there's a goddamn native PC version. Like, holy shit.
That's part 21/9, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, like again, most people that play gachas on their PC, they usually use an emulator, and emulators are 90% of the time okay. But the problem is, it's going to crash at some point. There's going to be some errors. There's going to be some issues that you run into. And, that's kind of part of the growing pains, because that's just what it is. But now there's a lot more games that are going like, okay, even though this game is supposed to be played on your phone, on your tablet, most people are playing it on their PCs. Why don't we just make a native client that just utilizes everything, right? So there's like no inherent risk of crashing. There's no issues, translations or problems going left and right. I fucking love it because, supporting, again, like that monitor, the ultra wide monitor you have at 21 by 9, not many goddamn PC games support that to begin with, right? So
when you told me about the 21 by 9, I was like, there's no way. Because there's so many AAA title games that make millions and millions of dollars that don't even support the ultra wide monitors. I have to stare at these ugly black bars.
Yep.
When you told me this one supported the ultra wide, I was like, I'm sold. Then I saw that Tekken transition for this negotiations. I was like, I'm sold. I'm playing the game. That's all I had to see.
Yeah, so like the fact that you can easily transfer between your PC to your tablet back and forth or your phone makes the experience a lot more fun. Like I'm way more inclined to play it because, hey, I'm going to be sitting on my computer for a couple hours. I'm going to editing, write some scripts or do whatever I want for content creation or whatever the case may be. And I can still play this. And it's going to it's going to boost. Like this is fantastic. I think the way they rolled out this open beta test, which is going to launch officially, I think in a couple weeks or so, has been fantastic. And this has been really, really good. So I hope every future gacha game has their own native PC client. It's like 90% of the time that won't happen, but you've got MiHoYo doing it obviously for Genshin and Honkai. I think Langrisser has their own PC client. Hell, even Bleach Brave Souls on Steam. You could play the game on Steam, right? So it's just... Yeah. Like these things need to happen now. It's kind of weird because we went from PC to consoles and consoles to mobile, and now the mobile is going back into PC, and so it's just a weird system we're getting into now. But this is the way things are, and I'm definitely glad that Counter-Strike, at least this game, definitely supports that. So that ends my top 5 like things I definitely like about this game. Anything else you want to talk about here? Like you really like Ignant?
I mean, we've pretty much covered the biggest ones. I can't think of much things I don't like, which we're going to talk about the 3 things we don't like in a bit. And I think that's like literally the only things I don't like about the game is the ones you have listed there. So I love everything else about the game. It's so much fun. The PvP is actually kind of fun, which probably won't be in the future. It just depends on what direction the game goes with like pay status and stuff like that. So we're going to have to wait on that one. But for right now, it's really fun. The gear is a lot of fun. Grand Cross, take notes because it doesn't take you 10 hours to do one gear piece.
Yes. Jesus.
It's just the game gives out a crap ton of currency. Like I've been summoning nonstop on this game without only spending but like $50 so far. So like I like that. I hope they keep that up. The logins are great. Like you literally log in 3 days, free SSR. You do a couple missions, free SSR. The game is really good. Like I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm the person that I hit the point where I hate gacha games. But this one has pulled me in.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, yeah, we laid out the 5 things we definitely thoroughly enjoy about this game. But let's talk about a few things that we wish they could improve upon. And the first important thing for me as a whale, number 1, is the summoning animations and the orders. Yeah. So, as you guys seen before, when you summon in this game, the animations are kind of weird. Like, there's no... Like in Dokkan and other games are tall tale signs of like, oh, you're getting an SSR or you're getting multiple SSRs or you're getting a featured unit, stuff like that. Here, it's just the ship comes down and that's it. And once you pull down the cover, the light that pops up tells you exactly what's happening. And then the problem is this. The very first unit you pull is the highest rarity you'll ever pull in that multi or single summon or whatever. And that's really bad. It's going in descending order, and I absolutely hate that because it just kills the hype, right? If it's just mixed up in there where the first couple ones are like R's, and then you get a couple SRs, and then an R, and then all of a sudden an SSR shows up, like the hype is there, the excitement, like this is a gacha game. Pulling units is what is part of the experience, and I just feel like this is very lackluster. What's your thought, Ignant?
Yeah, I agree. I hate that because I'm one of the people that also doesn't even like guaranteed SSRs that much because knowing that you're guaranteed it is just so saddening. Like it's not as hype. But one thing you didn't really mention is the animations are too like, okay, either go get the 3-star or not. Like if you don't get that gold shine, then you're not getting a 3-star to skip the multi. That's kind of boring. I would like to skip through it, have the heart racing for a chance of having a 3-star at like the last unit or something, Yeah, summoning is definitely the weaker point of this game when it comes to like animations and stuff for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is like had this been like a 5-6-year-old game, okay, I would give it a pass, right? Because they're not going to change much about it. Fine. But this is a game coming out in 2021 where there's a bunch of gotchas behind it that have super exciting animations and a lot of thrills to it. I wish they took a cue, and hopefully they will change it down the line, give you something. Because like you said, if you don't get that yellow gold light, you're not getting a 3-star. Well, what if they threw a fake out? Like, okay, there's only a 2-star there, but then the first unit you pull, if they're gonna do that crap again, is an SSR. You'd just be super ecstatic, right? But right now, the summoning experience is lackluster, and that's sad because as a gacha game, summoning is definitely part of the experience. So that's number one thing. The summon order, just not a fan of it. The second thing I want to talk about is the UI is a little clunky. What I mean by that is there's a lot going on, and it's not easy to navigate between going from one spot to the other. The biggest thing I could talk about is the headquarters. If you're trying to level up a unit, it's like at the bottom portion with the contract negotiations. But if you're trying to implant a unit, you have to back out, go back to the headquarters, and go to the top where it says implant, and then skill training, and then limit breaking. It's not very streamlined. It's too broken up. I don't know what your thoughts are on the UI with that.
I agree. I feel like they can make it a little more compact, where you don't have to click all over the place to do like the same thing with your units, basically.
Right.
Like overall, I love how the menus look and stuff. It's just not organized. It's the issue.
Yeah, I feel kind of lost when I go to the home screen and try to figure out what's going on sometimes. And that's me, an experienced gacha player, you know? Like, I know some stuff's going on, but there's just so many things to do. And that sounds like a bad thing. It's a good thing. There's a lot of stuff to do, but it's just not streamlined enough where you know, okay, this is the one spot to go. Right? Is that where I have to go back into another menu or to like the management side or whatever to figure stuff out? Like that's the only downside to the UI for me. And maybe they clean it up a little bit. You know, a lot of games tend to do that in like a 2.0 update, and hopefully, actually, if you didn't know this, Ignant, this is the 2.0 update. The way the game plays now is a lot different than it did before. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the way it is now is definitely an improvement than it was before, but there's always something to improve, and for me, you know, one of them is the UI. And then the last thing I want to talk about here, number 3, it's kind of a nitpick just because I know this is technically an open beta test, but every time I log in on PC, and sometimes even on my phone and tablet, I have to relog with the Facebook, Twitter, Google, whatever I tied my account with. I have to do that, and that gets really annoying. Like, once I tell you where it is, don't tell me to come back in and out. So just, again, I'm pretty sure they'll eventually streamline this. It's not the highest thing. That's why it's number 3 for me, but it's just annoying for me enough to be like, okay, I have to make a point of this. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's just, I don't have too much of an issue with it because my game's always running. I like never really close it. But when I do, like the 3 times I have closed it since this came out, it has to log in. It's able to change that. They will fix that.
Yep. And I think I lost Robo Ignant now. Rip Discord. That's all I could say. With that said, I think what Ignant's saying is just, it's a small thing, and I agree it's small, but it's a little annoying, at least for me, since I closed the game, reopen it, restart it. So with that said, those are the things that, you know, Ignant and I, we've been playing this a ton with stuff we love. It's stuff we need to fix. So, yeah, hopefully they listen to us and take the praise, right? Like, we gave them a lot of praise. There's a lot of things we enjoyed. So we'll go from there. Anything else you want to say, Ignant, before we go?
Download the game. Play it religiously. It's super fun. It actually has me wanting to spend money on the gacha game again.
And this is Ignant we're talking about. He hates this shit. So,
yeah.
All right, well, with that said, guys, appreciate it. Ignant, thank you so much for joining me and talking about the game. Maybe we'll do a review once the open beta test is closed. We'll do a review and really thoroughly dive into this stuff. But we just want to give you our initial impressions and thoughts on what we love and what we think they could improve. And hopefully they take the feedback and make this a better game. With that said, guys, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We'll catch you all next time. Ignant and Olar out.